All right, today we are going to talk about two-way frequency tables. Make sure you have a sheet of paper, plenty of different colored pens, color pencils, so that as you're taking your notes, you can use different colors. Again, remember that color helps in memory dramatically. Okay, on the top of your page, please make sure that you write the title of your notes. The title would be two-way frequency tables. Also write the link right below that so that if you ever need to go back and find it because you're a little bit uncertain as to what you wrote down, you can always do that. Okay? Also remember to pause and review anything that is unclear. It's okay to pause the video and watch it more than one time, 2 times, 3 times, as many times as you need in order for you to understand it. Okay, let's get started. So two-way frequency tables displayed categorical data. So here's an example of one, and this example talks about preferred fruits. And we have 3 different types of fruits: apples, oranges, and bananas. That is one of the type of data, the different fruits. Then we also have 9th graders and 10th graders. That's another type of data. Okay, so we have columns with the apples, oranges, and bananas. We have rows with our 9th graders and 10th graders. Okay, so let's get started. Whenever you're given a two-way frequency table, you need to total the columns and rows. So if we have 15 9th graders and 18 10th graders that like apples, we have a total of 33 students that like apples. If we have 18 9th graders that like oranges and 25 10th graders that like oranges, we have a total of 43 students that like oranges. And if we have 27 freshmen that like bananas and 7 sophomores that like bananas, we have 34 total students that like bananas. And now we have totaled up the individual fruits. Now we're going to total up the grades. So if we have 15 9th graders that like apples, 18 that like oranges, and 27 like bananas, we have a total of 60 freshmen. Likewise, if we have 18, 25, and 7, we have a total of 50 sophomores. Now this column or this box down here in our table is the complete total. So we have 60 and 50, which is 110 students. And if you look, that will also and always will match up with the 33 added to the 43 added to the 34 will give you 110. So this box down here is a total of all the students or all the people that are surveyed. Okay, so what can we do with a two-way frequency table? Well, we can answer questions, right? And that's what you're doing. When you're looking at data, when you're looking at information, you're answering questions. So here are some basic questions, and there's our table. So it says, how many 9th graders prefer apples? Well, I look at the 9th grade students, and I find the number that like apples, and I find that it's 15. Second question, how many 10th graders prefer bananas? Well, I go to the 10th grade, and I find bananas, and I find that it's 7. 7 10th graders prefer bananas. The third question, how many students prefer oranges? So this one's a little bit different because it doesn't give us a grade. It says how many students, total students. So there are 43 total students that prefer oranges. And then the fourth question, how many total students were surveyed? Well, again, I kind of touched on it ago. This bottom right corner is the total number of students that are surveyed, right? 110. And again, that is 60 plus 50 gives us 110 grade-wise. And then you had the people who like apples added to the people who like oranges, added to the people who like bananas. Again, should be another 110. And it will always work out that way. Okay, let's look at the next type of question that we can answer. These are a little bit higher level thinking. So question number 5 says, what percent of all 9th graders prefer bananas? So I'm going to look and I'm going to figure out, okay, so we're talking about what percent of all 9th graders. So all 9th graders, there are 60 9th graders. And what percent of those prefer bananas? Well, 27. So our data is 60 total 9th graders, 27 of them like bananas. What fraction am I going to create in order to figure out that percent? In this case, it's going to be 27 over 60. And that'll give us 45% of the freshmen like bananas. If I look at question 6, it says, what percent of all students who prefer apples are in the 9th grade? So again, we're going back to that 9th grade. Okay, and now we're talking about apples. So what percent of the students who prefer apples? Students who prefer apples. There are 33 students that prefer apples. What percent are 9th graders? So 15. So our data there, 33 total students, 15 of them prefer apples. Our fraction, 15 over 33. And the percent, actually the percent's going to be 45% again. But in this case, it's a little bit off, but we're going to round 45%. I think it was 45.45. Okay, so we're going to leave that at 45.4 and round down. Okay? And the last question, it says, what percent of all students surveyed like oranges? So what percent of all students surveyed? All students was 110. What percent of those like oranges? Well, 43 of those like oranges. So those are going to be our numbers. Put it into our fraction, 43 over 100. And then the percent there is going to be 39%. Okay? So those are two different types of questions that you can ask with a two-way frequency table. There's one last thing that we're going to talk about with the two-way frequency table that you're going to have to be able to do before you can answer some of these questions. So there's the one we had on our preferred fruits. I'm going to add another one in here, and this is our preferred sports. 9th grade and 10th grade again, very similar to the frequency table above, but we have football, soccer, and track instead. And the difference here is that we're missing a few pieces. So we're missing this spot. We're missing the 10th grade soccer, how many people play that. We're missing the total for track, and then we're missing 2 totals over here in the corners. So let's get started. How do we do that? Well, we do it the same way that we did. We're doing a little bit of adding and subtracting. So 25 freshmen, 18 sophomores that play football. We have 43 total people playing football. Now we have 19 that play soccer freshman year, and we have a total of 45. How would we be able to figure out how many 10th graders play soccer? You guessed it right. 45 minus 19 will give us our 26. Okay? The third thing that we are going to look at is how many total run track. That would be 38. And then again, we'll just add straight across. So 25 plus 19 plus 11 will give us 55. And then 18 plus 26 plus 27 will give us 71. And then 55 plus 71 is 126. So sometimes when you are given a two-way frequency table, you're going to have to do some math and figure out the missing spots in that frequency table. Okay, if you have any questions, the notes are over. Please go back and review this set of notes again. Watch the video as much as you need to, and come in with any questions you have ready to do some work on frequency tables tomorrow. Have a great day.